welcome to round 1 of season 13 of the ACC GT3 Championships hosted by Apex Online Racing. A reduced number of entries for this season. It's summer, a lot of people are away on holiday and the weather's pretty hot for racing. So we only got about 300-400 entries, which resulted in 7 tiers. This is tier 6, and I think would normally in a 10 tier racing season be a mix of drivers for perhaps tier 7, 8 and 9. In terms of pace, so it's going to be tricky. We'll see how it goes for the race, but for qualifying, instead of the usual 1 second covering P1 to P20, it was actually about 3 seconds covering P1 to P20, so quite a spread of pace throughout the field. We've got a host of drivers that we may not have seen before, and the teams that have registered, we've got 7 teams. First up, Assetto Motorhersteller, consisted of drivers Furkan Hosman and Berk Aras. Beeswax Racing, always here. Myself, Steve Bezic and Lord Nem. Celtic Bromance, they always turn up like a bad penny. It's McKinley and Stephen Carrick this time round. Fuzzy Llamas is Viking Rat and Stuart Pietska. Gently Bentley Racing is Paul Martin and Manuel Duque. Only Duque is hanging on to the Bentley. Paul Martin has defected to the Ferrari along with about quite a lot of the field. There's a lot of Ferraris in this tier. Hexagon Nation T6 is Chris Jenkins and Tobias Harkinson. And Manuel Rutter Racing Academy is Philip Reuter and Jonas Kolmwald. So let's get into round 1 and review the race along with commentary from myself. And let's see how the race unfolded. Join us as the drivers line up for the start of round 1 at Valencia. Holmwald in the 65 Lamborghini did an impressive qualification time of 1 minute 30.867, a whole 6/10 of a second ahead of second place Hosman in the 228 Porsche. Turner qualified in third, just 2/100ths of a second behind Hosman, so a big gap from the first place Lamborghini. The lights go green and they're away, but immediately Turner in the 774 Porsche, the purple and black one on the inside here, as they go through the corner, trying to make a dive in the Lamborghini, but didn't make that one come off. And they head down into turn 2, doing. And that drive through will cost Turner quite dearly. His really good qualifying has been ruined there by being out of position for the start, no doubt. But Kolmwald, who did that massively impressive qualifying time as well. And there's a Ferrari there has gone through. Is that Radoshko in the 925 Ferrari? Comes through. We love ACC at the start of a race. Doesn't have to get itself in a tiz. Meanwhile, Kolmwald is moving well clear of the field. He's nearly a second ahead of Radoshko already in the Ferrari. And there's a gap there back to the Porsche of Turner, who's got that drive-through to serve. So he'll drop out of third, leaving Hosman to move up into third place at the end. Well, Turner's got 3 laps to serve that penalty or he'll be disqualified from the race. So he's got a little while yet. But he may well want to take that penalty now, get it out of the way and maybe move into clear air. But he does have a bit of a space ahead of him now. I think if I was Turner, I'd at least stick it out for 1 or 2 laps. Try and get as much as I can before he... But into the pits he goes. Deciding not to take advantage of the fact he had a clear track in front of him. Kolmwald leads at the end of the first lap. Already has a lead of 1.3 seconds. He can go quite wide on that first corner without getting a warning. Turner dropping down the field, serving this drive-through. Kolmwald in the meanwhile now got a lead of 1.35 seconds over Rachotko in second place, 925 Ferrari. Hosman further nearly 2 seconds behind already in the 228 Porsche. McKinley from Celtic Bromance is in 4th position. Kolmwald continues to hold his lead. I think he may be pulling away slightly from Rachotko. Helmwald in the Manuel Rutter Racing Academy team, and that rolls off the tongue. Not quite as bad as the Mino Assetto Motorhersteller, which is Hosman and Berk Aras's team. All the drivers at the front of the race really involved in teams. Helmwald's in a team. Richotko isn't. Hosman is. McKinley is part of Celtic Romance. Anthony Jose is in 5th position, tucked up behind the Ferrari of McKinley. Just behind them is Carese, 313 Porsche. So it's a Lamborghini out front, then a Ferrari and a Porsche, and 2 Ferraris, 2 Porsches. And it's not until we get to 8th place in Willis in the 28 Audi that we get the first of the non-new content cars for ACC. McKinley's teammate, Stephen Carey, is in 10th place, just behind Halen in the 443 Aston Martin. Helmwald's lead now, nearly 2.2 seconds. He's easily pulling away from the rest of the field. Now, there was some discussion on the forums after the race about whether perhaps Helmwald may be a little bit misplaced, given his turn of pace during qualifying, and certainly in the first few laps of the race itself. Now, over 2 seconds clear of Reshotko. He's in 2nd place, and Reshotko himself is showing a fair turn of speed. He's now nearly 3 seconds clear of Hosman in 3rd place. Hosman has got the close attentions of McKinley and Jose and Karaziak. The 313 Porsche. Then there's a big gap of over 4 seconds to Reuter down in the 22 for Porsche in 7th place. The Audi of Willis right behind him, then Halen, and then Steve Carey. Little train forming here. Phil in the 712 Ferrari. Close to Steve Carey, who's tucked up there behind Aston Martin. Very difficult to pass at Valencia. Not many overtaking opportunities. Helmwald out front now, trying to make that lead 3 seconds. McKinley hot on the tail of Hosman. He's trying to have a look at the inside. He's not close enough. Got the right-hander coming up. Difficult one. The big bounces there as you go across those curbs. That attack has allowed Hosman to pull away a little bit. Tiny little gap forming there. A reduced number of drivers entered for season 13, the summer months, meaning perhaps not everybody's available for the full season. So with the reduced number of drivers came a reduced number of tiers. The normal 10 tiers has been reduced to 7. So we do have a slight mix of drivers coming into tier 6 for this season. And I think it could be probably a combination of drivers that may be normally in tier 7, 8 and 9. It may explain the big difference in pace across the field. Certainly in qualifying in season 12 it wasn't uncommon for 1 second to separate places 1 to 20. At the start of this race it was nearly 3 seconds separating P1 to P20. There's a huge gap in the field. 41 drivers, or was it 42, took the start, so quite a big field on a very, very small track. There were a number of incidents on lap 1. This is a battle really to try and get onto the podium. Hosman at the lead here in the 228 Porsche. Got the last step, and again McKinley tries to have a look at the inside as we come through between turns 11 and 12. Difficult right-hander again. You have to watch the curve on the inside and then the bounces on the outside. Again, not close enough for McKinley. It's going to take something more than that to get past the Porsche. Everybody's carrying good speed there through the final corner onto the start-finish straight. If you can get a bit of a jump, it might give you an opportunity into turn 1, but everybody looks to be nose to stern. So in the 801, Ferrari trying to have a little look there at McKinley. McKinley a little bit defensive on the inside. He's trying the other side now. It's really single file. I've seen a few people attempt to do a pass on the inside of this corner now. They're just going through, which is turn 4, and it usually ends in tears. Down on the outside has to sweep across. The track narrows, and very often they come together. Olmos lead stabilised at 2 seconds out front. He goes through turn 8. Assetto probably a little bit bored on his own there. He's got 2 seconds ahead and nearly 4 seconds now to Hosman. Hosman, though, will have the distractions of McKinley, Jose and Karasik breathing down his neck. Seems to have pulled a little gap this time. McKinley, will that allow McKinley to get out without the distraction of trying to make a pass? Will that allow him to get a better run through turns 12, 13 and 14 onto the straight and try and make an attack onto the Porsche? The end of the start finish straight into turn 1. Crossing off his big gap there. Through the corner they go. As long as you keep at least one wheel on the green stuff apparently on turn 1, you will be okay for track warnings. Further down the field, P19 Savada. Listening to the computer, it looks like there's a little pass there going on ahead. Wilco in the number 2 is now ahead of Jenkins in the 666 BMW. BMW behind there, number 6 of Savada had to get out of it, which made him go wide. I think that's allowed that Ferrari there, the 195 of Vitushki. Apologies if I've murdered your name, but there's a lot of exotic names in the field for this season. He has got past that BMW of Savada. He's having a look now at the other BMW of Jenkins, the 666. Hexagon Racing Nation. Hexagon Nation team member, I should say. He's got a good line there on the 195. I think they might still be side by side going into the tight right-hander. He's turn 11. But no, the Ferrari's ahead, I think. 195 does get ahead. That's 2 passes made in 1 lap for 195. Well done. Yeah, too chic. Oh, and the BMW made a mistake there, and he's gone off. Jenkins for Hexagon Nation there lost the rear end. I saw that a lot with the BMWs on this circuit. The rear end really seems to let go on them. He managed to recover reasonably well, but he's dropped a number of places down. I'll be cursing there. The BMW's dropping down the field, really. The furthest one up the field is Melfas in P15. He's got quite a gap ahead of him to try and close up to Levitsky. He's in 606 Mercedes. Olmos lead out front now, 3 seconds. Assetto also doing very well. He's got over a 3-second gap now to Hosman behind him, who's still holding back McKinley, Jose and Karasik. And then there's a huge gap back down to Reuter in P7. We've got Willis in the Audi just at the bottom of the shot there, leading this small group of 3. Halen in the middle, 443 Aston Martin, and Stephen Carey for Celtic Romance, number 1 Ferrari at the rear. Ferrari incredibly popular this season, still packed with them. It is, I think, the easiest to drive out of the new cars that came as part of the new DLC content. I've seen many McLarens. There's one McLaren with Martins. I apologise, there's two. There's another one here with Peitska from Fuzzy Llamas. And a McLaren, I did see a feature with Aris. Has got a very snappy rear end and will let go on you quite easily around corners if you're not careful. Quite a difficult car. But apparently it's very good through medium and high speed corners, but not very good through slow speed corners. Unfortunately, slow speed corners seems to be there's a lot of at Valencia, so not a great car for this circuit, to my understanding. Almwald continues to build on his lead, now 3.7 seconds clear of second place. Reshotko. Oh, who's that off in the gravel trap there? A red Ferrari, I couldn't quite see who that was. Oh, there's collisions going on behind. That's McKinley. And was that Hosman? That will be Hosman who was off circuit. We just missed that then. Cheeky then. And let's nip back. See what happened. Hosman's leading out McKinley. Goes wide, going around that difficult turn 12. Caught the curbs badly and bounced. And that gave McKinley... Oh, but then they came together. Little bounce in the doors there. And that also allowed Jose through. The Hosman's dropped from 3rd to 5th very, very quickly. And McKinley moves into 3rd place. Almwald, meanwhile, out front, continues to build his lead slowly. 3.7 seconds now. Reshotko, 2nd place. And now McKinley, with a long haul ahead of him to close up 4 seconds. Nearly 5 seconds to Reshotko, 3rd place. 2nd place. He's got Jose right on his tail. So it's Lamborghini now, Ferrari, and then 3 Porsches. Osman trying to recover from, well, a big mistake he made that put him on the gravel. Maybe they were both a little bit unsighted as Osman tried to recover. And McKinley came through. Still, it's the number 28 Audi with Willis, 443 Aston Martin with Halen, and then Steve Carey in the Ferrari. These 3 have been following each other for the entire race so far. We're into the 10th lap at the moment. Another Ferrari going wide there. Is that Phil? That is indeed Patrick Phil. And 712 Ferrari. That giving opportunity for Špijak, number 30 Ferrari, to close right up to him, but don't think he's going to be close enough to make an attack as they go through turn 1. He's having a look down the inside though, but he is too far behind. Very close though as they go through turn 1. Really trying to put the pressure on Phil, trying to get him to make another mistake. Got the Mercedes there of Levitsky just in the background. That probably needs to be careful he doesn't try too hard, put himself on a bad line and then suddenly lose position behind Phil. Still close. Turn 5 going up towards turn 6. I think these corners don't present too much of a problem for anybody. Big braking zone though as we come in towards turn 8. And the almost unnoticeable turn 7 there into 8. Holds the inside of the line well. Špijak goes a little bit wider, try and get a better drive out, but it's not enough. And I think Phil has possibly got away with this. He's pulled out a little bit of a gap now. Down Down turn 11 and up towards the very difficult right-hander at turn 12. Looks like he's clear and away over the difficult bumpy curbs and down into the final corner, turn 14 again. Oh, in the meantime, Steve Curry's found a way past Halen in the Aston Martin. Look at that big bunch of cars behind them. He needed to do that because they're all bearing down from behind. Audi's not taking a great line there. Lost a bit of speed. Closing right up for Celtic Bromance. The Aston dropping back quite rapidly. Now it's been passed. Trying to put the Audi off his line. This is giving an opportunity for the Aston Martin to try and get back. Hounding the Audi there, trying to find a way through is Steve Curry. Tight turn 8. He's got to be inside of the Audi, but he's on the outside for the big one, the turn 11 right-hander, where it looks like the Audis may have conceded. Steve Curry there makes 2 places in just over, well, in under a lap. I think he may have got past the Aston Martin around this point, so in under a lap he's got past 2 places. Steve Curry will move into 8th. He's got to really try and close in that gap now on the right up ahead in the number 22 Porsche. Celtic Bromance looking okay so far in this race. The Audi's really trying to come back though. Not close enough. In this town in the number 18 BMW. Catch up with Ramshield in the 51 Porsche. The Jenkins there in the background in the BMW. We saw him having that little bit of a mishap in turn 12. Meanwhile, out front, Cornwall's lead now nearly 5 seconds over Ricciotto. Slide there, back of the Lamborghini. Usually popular choice, the Lamborghini, so interesting to see that out front. Through to start his lap 12, 11 laps completed. Mercedes diving into the pits there. BMW just in front of him. That'll be a car he's lapping already. Only 11 laps in, but there's quite a few incidents up and down the field during this race that really split the field up. A long list on the collisions, and unfortunately I was one of the big victims. I ended up off the track 4 times in one race, getting involved with other cars. Not great. I had to come back from the very back of the field. I managed to drive back to P25 for the end of a race, which... Oh, big slide for Cornwall. The leader's gone off. In the gravel trap point the wrong way. He's trying to do a quick recovery. But there goes Ricciotto for the lead, and he's over-recovered. Gave it too much throttle, Cornwall, and spun the car completely. And this has turned into a bit of a disaster. A number of cars have gone through. I saw Ricciotto. We've got a Porsche there in the background. Is that Reuter? No, it is Karezek. So he's in at least 5th position to come lead Cornwall with 1 mistake. 5-second lead he had. Got a little bit too complacent, perhaps. But terrible there for Cornwall. Ricciotto becomes our new leader. McKinley now becomes P2. Got Jose just behind him, then Hosman. Cornwall's showing in 3rd place, but I'm sure I saw... Is that Hosman just behind him? It is, somehow. Oh, I managed to get away with that. That's Jose. There's Cornwall. Oh, I love the ACC computer, don't I? He's decided to pit straight away. It seems quite early on in the race. Maybe he thought his tyres were letting go of him. Cornwall into the pits, was leading, span out, dropped down to 5th, and now has to try and recover. Should have no damage. Just in the gravel. Clearly he felt he pushed his tyres a bit too far. So Ryszardko should have the lead even after the pit stops. Has almost lost a lot of time there. Down the field. Willis finally looks like he passed by Halen in the Aston Martin just as we come to them. The Audi dropping down. Maybe it's time for him to change tyres as well. He was losing pace. He'd carry it just up the road, so he managed to pull a little bit of a gap ahead of these two. 3.4 seconds is the gap. Steve Carey up ahead. Meanwhile, behind, Phil still has the attentions of Śmigak, the number 30. Ferrari faces Ferrari. Śmigak still trying to find a way past. He's not going to get a great exit there, did Phil. I just don't think he just can't get close enough in the Ferrari can Śmigak. Slides there from both of them. Maybe their tyres are getting tired as well. Nowitzki in the 606 Mercedes. Trying to find a way through. He's definitely trying to find a way through. That was really close there for Śmigak as he closed the door going through the corner. He goes for the pits. Might be the good choice. Get your pits to get a bit of clear air when he comes out the pits. Try and improve his lap time before the Nowitzki and Phil come in for their pit stop. Trying to do an undercut on the pair of them. See some battered cars now further down the field from a number of incidents that went on. Harry again. Bushik doing quite well earlier. Paul Martin. And gently Bentley. They won't give up that name, even though Paul Martin has finally realised that the Bentley is past its best and has switched to the Ferrari. His teammate though, Amal Duque, is sticking with it. And I was behind the Bentley. On the threat from a BMW actually, from Lord Nem himself, who's done something wrong with his livery because his car's decked out as a police car, is Lord Nem, but it doesn't look like that on my stream, so he's clearly not actually chosen the livery as issued by Toaster Tom. But Duque sticking with the Bentley, but when we were in the practice race I was all over the back of him, and if I'm all over the back of you, you've got big problems. Lord Nem hated this track, he said. I didn't mind it, I had quite a good time here actually. So I'm a fan of Valencia. He did very well in the practice race on the Sunday and came 5th, but got absolutely murdered in this one, and like I said earlier, I had to return to try and get back into the race from last place almost. Definitely right at the back of the field. I managed to recover to 25th, which I'm impressed with. Lord Nem at the moment in 24th. He's really not doing well there. Ferrari. Is that Arras? It is 227, right on the inside of him there in the final turn. He's dropped right back from Duque, who's actually pulled into the pits ahead of him. But he's really not having a great time there. So Beeswax Racing off to another traditional great start. Somehow, BMW held off the Ferrari there down the start-finish straight. I thought it was a done deal. Now, I think Lord Nem's going to be able to hold him off going around corners like that. Big change of direction on the green stuff. Real loss of speed. He's got Ferrari and a McLaren breathing down his neck. A lot of cars now starting to box for tyres. Mandatory pit stop is part of the race. And Shudko hanging it out the front really, I don't blame him. Taking advantage. McKinley into the pits. And his Hosman moves up into second place. Big gaps now forming at the front. It's 7 seconds plus for Hosman up to Ryszardko. Here we're showing Willis right behind Reuter. front of him. 305. Weber coming out of the way to try and let the leaders through. And then a bit of a miserable afternoon. And in P37. Quick look at me. Lovely livery. Moment I'm in P35, right halfway through the race. I'd suffered enough significant damage. I needed to pit for repairs. I was losing the rear of the car, so really it was a recovery from this point forward. Try and get back into this race. Not a great start to the season for either of the Beeswax Racing cars. Assetto goes through again. He's in the lead, 17 laps in now. This is the 18th lap. Gap to P2 behind Hosman in the Porsche is 7 seconds. Who must also have not pitted. Then must go for Jose. Meanwhile, Raziak in 313 Porsche is boxing for his mandatory stop. McKinley now in 19th place, probably as he's done his pit stop. So I'm assuming a lot of the cars ahead of McKinley have yet to stop. So we've got a lot of changing in position coming up pretty soon. Slide there from Phil in the 712 Ferrari. Audi appeared to be all over the place then, just ahead of him. And really wide from the corners, and may really be in the time for a new set of tyres for that Audi. I did several seasons in the Audi just prior to the new update to ACC, but I found it a bit undrivable after the update, and I went out for a test run and I found myself going round and round in circles and it kept spinning. And I tried the new Ferrari and it was a bit of a no-brainer for me to switch. Willis now up to 4th as everybody ahead starts the box. New tyres. Tushik, 195 Ferrari. A pretty good race really. I'm doing a lot of passes. I saw him and the car just ahead there going right over the curbs in a bad way. I think that is Weber again. It is indeed. Weber having a really difficult afternoon. We've had a number of drivers drop out. We've got 39 runners now. I think we start with 42. Tushik does dive into the pits for his pit stop. Assetto going round again. He's only at turn 8, so we've still got half a lap to go. Maybe he's happy to have clear track in front of him and just focus on his pace. Almwald now down in P13. We've got to let the pit stops settle out. Got Martin's number 18 McLaren ahead of him. I think Martin's may need to stop. I was racing Martin's for quite a while until there was another incident. Walked off the track. A bit of a rough overtake pass there on Martin's. Oh, there's a stop-go 30 for Phil. Oh dear, so he's been speeding in the pit lane. Gets an automatic stop-go 30, and that really is his race over. He's going to have to park up basically for an extra pit stop, so he'll be right down the back of the field. All sorts of shenanigans going on there right in front of him. Was that Assetto right in front of him? I think it was. Trying to get past him and he was flashing his lights. He's getting a bit tense, but he's got a whole pack behind him. If I was Assetto, I'd be wanting to box and get new tyres on and get away from that bunch of cars. They're all lapped now. And they're close behind him, probably because they've just come out of the pits, but it's putting more pressure on him than he really needs. And he's got to do that pit stop anyway at some point. Phil, he knows what's what. He's even braking there almost to a halt on the corner. It's a disaster to get a stop-go 30 in just a short race of 1 hour. There's just no chance of making that time up. The 18, he will tumble down the field. He'll probably be a bit unhappy with himself. The computer, the way the ACC is set up now is the penalty is instantaneous for the smallest amount of overspeed in the pits. If you go in too hot, you get an instant disqualification. I had one last season for just going about 1 centimetre over the line, and into the pits goes Rishotko. At long last, he's probably realised he's got all that traffic around him, he'd be better off pitting and getting it out of the way. Trying to get some space on track. Oh, difficult with such a small track and so many cars. Osman stays out and will take the lead of a race in the next sector. Jose does come into the pits as well. Levitsky is quite a way behind, really, in the Mercedes. He'll kind of move ahead, but now he's got a box as well. That's why he was so close to the leaders. Ramshield, number 51. Porsche in P5. That's McKinley, I think, is the key marker. Colmwald is ahead of McKinley somehow. 1.6 seconds. So has he managed to somehow box and do a massive effort to get ahead of McKinley, or did McKinley have a big wait in the pits for repairs? Either way, somehow Colmwald's got back up there. But these will be the people battling it out for the lead of a race once all the pit stops have settled out. Colmwald spin out massively just after turn 5 earlier on, and to be fair, make a complete hash of his recovery. He did a bit of pirouetting and lost even more time. Now he's back out ahead of McKinley, and that gap appears to be opening up. It's 1.8 now at the last sector. He's really pushing his luck. He's pushing very hard. But you've got to say, his qualifying time and the way he's pushing on in this race, I would be surprised to see Colmwald lining up in Tier 6 for the next race, which will be at Donington in a week's time. In the pouring rain, because apparently that's all it ever does in the UK. I wouldn't believe that for the last 4 or 5 weeks. Here in the UK, it's been scorching hot sunshine. Colmwald now showing in 3rd place. Rishotko is ahead of him. Osman is in the pits. And already Rishotko is going past the start-finish straight. His lead over Colmwald is just under 4 seconds. Given the turn of pace Colmwald has shown in this race, is every possibility that despite the spin and the pirouette and all the other shenanigans, he may get back into this race and take the lead. The battle is on. Rishotko really needs to focus to make sure he can get that gap and hold that gap to Colmwald behind him. Osman has rejoined the track. The computer will sort itself out in a moment or two, and we go for the next sector. Gap now 3.449. Got a back marker between them. That'll cause some confusion. Colmwald will be pushing like crazy. Let's hope we don't push too hard and end up back in the gravel again. McKinley failing to keep contact with Colmwald. The gap now 2.2 seconds. Osman in the Porsche. Trying to get back towards McKinley. Oh, a lot of battles at the front here. Solving. 3.048 seconds. The gap from Rishotko, Colmwald. The last corner of the start-finish line. Got him within sight, and that's pretty key with these sort of things. If you can see who you're trying to chase, it makes it a bit easier to try and get them. Phil that's between them, the unfortunate driver who got that stop-go 30, put him down in 31st. You know you're having a bad day when you're behind me, Phil. I'm in P30. I've already made up 5 places from when I came back. Still trying to get through the field. Gap now is only 2.85 seconds. It's dropping by about half a second a lap. So Carmel's making a massive push here to catch up with Reshotko. It's evidence, I think, that you should never give up, even no matter what happens. Same true with me, down in P38 at one point, and managing to make my way back up through the field. Gap now 2.685. I think maybe now 2.3. Oh yeah, no, that's the gap between Colmold and McKinley. Computer catches up. 3 seconds again. Reshotko's just about holding the gap. It's coming down a little bit every lap. Drive-through penalty. Oh no. Tushik, after all that hard work, did one too many track cuts and he's got a drive-through penalty, so he worked his way all the way up P18, but now he's going to have to do a drive-through, dropping right back down the field. Gap now less than 3 seconds to Colmold. Yo-yoing a little bit as they work their way around the lap and through the different sectors. Racing Academy driver, and we'll get used to these teams in the end, is Jonas Colmold. His teammates is Philipp Reuter, I think who's in 6th place at the moment in the 22 Porsche. I think Reshotko has joined a team on his own, but McKinley is part of Celtic Bromance. So it's Mamo Rutter Racing Academy in 2nd place and Celtic Bromance team in 3rd at the moment. Hosman is trying to keep contact with McKinley. Get 2.4 seconds for Hosman in 4th place. Not that many laps left to go now. We are 23 laps in. Oh, he's already opened up again now, 3.396. So, Colmold had a bit of an issue somewhere. He's closed right up on Phil though. Not close enough to go through on him yet. Phil just pulls right over, gives Colmold as much space as he can. Sure, Reshotko would prefer it if it had held him up a little bit. Get the pressure off. Gap now 3.5 seconds. Lost 3 seconds. The gap is yo-yoing between the two. Of Reshotko, tantalisingly close, but not close enough. Gap between McKinley and Hosman's opened up to a massive 5 seconds. Hosman must have made a mistake somewhere. Probably wants to focus perhaps on keeping P4. That gap probably maybe too big to close up to McKinley at this stage. Around 12, 13 and 14 goes Reshotko to finish another lap. Could be me. It's me. Just ahead there of the leader. I think I was totally focused at this point on trying to catch Jenkins from Hexagon Nation. He's seconds ahead of me. I was just pushing like that. I just wanted to get what I could. Ended up still stuck at P30 at the moment. Oh, there's Lord Nem. Got to him just at the right time when he's going off track. We always do our best. And we have a bit of tail slide as well. So it's all going on for Lord Nem today, but Jenkins goes through on him. So for me, next target is my own teammate Lord Nem. Oh, for Beeswax Racing. By the way, I've got big news, everybody. I found out what his moniker is. I don't think he could fit it in. Apparently, Lord Nem is short for Lord Nemesis. So nobody take the mickey out of him for apparently being your nemesis on track down in P29. Jenkins, Hexagon Nation 28th, Lord Nem, Beeswax 29th, myself, Beeswax Racing in 30th, Viking Wrap for Fuzzy Llamas. I'm afraid to say, I seem to like the look of my car during this race because he kept getting very, very close and they'd actually run into me a couple of times. It wasn't great, unfortunately. It cost me. Rashadko has now got a gap of nearly 5 seconds to Cornwall. The gap really opened up there. Despite the fact I was getting in Rashadko's way perhaps a little bit. He's through on me now, Rashadko. Seventh lap we're on at the moment. I recall this actually now. It's Phil behind me. I presumed he was quite quick. I was out of position. So I was a little bit of a panic on trying to catch him. How about him catching me? I didn't want that to happen. The gap to Lord Nem ahead of me. Chic in the 195 Ferrari recovered from a drive-through, but put him all the way down in P26. He was well inside the top 20. He's lost nearly 10 places with that one. And there for him. Shotko with whatever happened to Cornwall to make that gap 5 seconds. Shotko can now perhaps relax a little bit. I really think Cornwall's just out of time. Slide there through that tricky turn 12. You have to be careful there. If you get it wrong, you will spin out off the track, and it'll cost you a hell of a lot more than just trying to shave a little bit of time off going through that corner. In there, I think it's settled in for third place. His gap 2.4 seconds to Cornwall. We know Cornwall's pushing like crazy, so maybe he's Kinley's best option if Cornwall makes a big mistake pushing too hard. Osman now quite a way behind McKinley. The start finish line now. We'll get the gap probably about 5 seconds. 6 seconds it is now, the gap. We've got Jose 801 Ferrari pretty close behind, so Osman's eyes are more likely to be behind him than ahead of him. Cornwall's head dropped with the gap being 5 seconds. It was 3 seconds for the longest time. It did drop to less than 3 seconds, but now it's back out to 5. Running that Lamborghini right to the ragged edge in an effort to try and close the gap up. And myself to Lord Nem is 6 seconds now. Not that I'm super concerned about inter-team rivalry or anything. England in the 443 Aston Martins dropped out of 12th place. He was a little further up the field earlier on, so he has slowly dropped away as this race has gone on. He's got Levitsky in the 606 Mercedes pretty close behind him, and then Menofas in the 314 BMW less than a second behind. Strange that Halen drops back. The Audi Willis kind of stuck in 9th place for the entire race. People moving ahead and behind of him, but he keeps ending up inside the top 10, so he's managed to keep plugging away there in the Audi. Steve Carey for Celtic Bromance now in P7. And we've got Karasiak. Or is it Karasiak? And the 313 Porsche right behind him. Into another lap, we're into lap 29, 5.5 seconds. Shevko swings around one of the back markers. somehow managed to work out how to get his hazards on. I just crash if I try to do something like that. Coming up on Lord Nem next, I think. Blue flags. We need Sebastian Vettel's blue flag song. Cornwall's got a lot of traffic now. It's going to get in his way between him and Ricciardo's. And then, oh, way wide there. Way wide. Not sure. He may have got away there without a cut warning because he probably didn't gain any time. Let's judge that quite a bit. I don't think we can say I've got anything to do. That was a long way in front of him. Just over a second. I don't think I managed to put him off. Hopefully not anyway. Oh, somebody off in the gravel trap there. I didn't quite catch who it was. I think it was Webber again. Not adapted well to the Valencia track. We won't be sorry to see the back of this round. Somebody else off there in the black Porsche. Swinging right back onto the racing line. Not sure the leader will have quite appreciated this. Really caught up quickly with that Porsche. Going very slowly. I think it may have been number 51. Is Ramshield. Rejoined the track there. Pulled back onto a racing line. Was going really slowly. Really be careful doing that sort of thing. As the leader was right on the back of him almost instantly. Ramshield's P28, so Lord Nem will be trying to have a look at that. Look how much I've closed up there, just in the background. As I let through the leaders. I think I may have been swearing at this point, because I had to keep slowing down to let leaders through. Cornwall goes through, and with all this traffic, the gap now is 4 seconds, so maybe Cornwall might be keeping his hopes up, but time is running out. Into the 31st lap. This might be the last lap, really. I didn't keep a tally of when we actually finished the race. Oh, well, looks like we're making a really big push now towards the end. He was really trying to get some time back as Shotco really runs into quite a lot of traffic. It was Jenkins from Hexagon Nation then, the BMW was in the corner as Ricciardo trying to go through. Gap is under 4 seconds again. Not sure there is enough laps left for Cornwall to close the gap, yet make an attack. Another lap, we're going to the lap 32. Everybody's coming together towards the end of the race. A huge train of traffic there on the start-finish straight. Cornwall coming up on Lord Nem next. Really trying to get on the coattails of Cornwall there was to try and pull myself back up to the rear of Lord Nem. A battle here between Foster and Schmijak. Foster's gone through. Into the top 10 goes Foster. Schmijak just losing out there just a little bit. Start finish straight. Looks like Foster's got quite a turn of speed there. Big gap opening up already. Cornwall continues to push. Okay, inside of. Oh, be careful! The 51 Porsche of Ramshield there, nearly hitting P2. Had his heart in his mouth there with Cornwall. Behind Lord Nem was catching up with Ramshield. That is for position. And this gave me the opportunity. I'm right at the back of the pair of them. So So wherever's gone on, I very much doubt I've managed to find that much speed. Now I'm just a second off. So Ramshield has been having an exciting couple of laps. Lord Nem pretty close behind him, and Lord Nem pulls over for me. But I'll tell everybody I did that one on skill and ability alone. All the inside of Lord Nem puts me in P29. Ramshield just ahead of me. The way he's been driving, I've got to fancy my chances. Looks like we go straight on there. Colmold's got a drive through. Too many drag cuts. And what's he doing? Has he pulled out the race? Colmold's gone and looks to have pulled out the race, having got a drive through with just a lap to go, which is not very good really. He should have served the penalty and rejoined the race rather than just quitting. I don't think normally the organisers look kindly on people who just pull out of races for not much good reason at all. McKinley then moves into second with, this must be the last lap almost. Rishudko is in first, McKinley is in second now, Osman in third. So the battle really, because the gap between Rishudko and McKinley will be pretty big, probably almost about 6-7 seconds, if not more. 8 seconds, 8.8 seconds. So Rishudko has got this one in the bag. He just needs to really bring it home safely. McKinley, second place, has got over 3 seconds. He's got me in between him. I think that's another one I was cursing, I think. I really wanted to try and catch Ramshield, and then McKinley caught me and had to let him through. We're going round for another lap at least. This is the 34th lap. What I wanted to do here was to try and follow through on McKinley, try and get the inside of Ramshield, but he closed the door pretty firmly there. Reuters closed up on Hussein. This is 4th and 5th. Only the close gap really is Turner here on Beckett. Now P16 and 17. Beckett's got a better line there going into turn 1. Oh, that's the Turner who qualified on second, had that drive through at start. It's not a great race then to be all the way down in 17th. Jocko around to complete another lap. Well, we keep going. Trying to find a way to catch up with Ramshield. 27. Phil is closing up on Lord Nem. Still quite a gap there. Gap now for McKinley at the front, it's 10 seconds. Reuter has got even closer now to the Porsche. No, the Ferrari there of Jose, number 1. So taking the inside line, trying to be very defensive. Meanwhile, Reziak in the 313 Porsche has also got in on the act, so Reuters is a bit of a pickle here. He's got another Porsche behind him that's breathing down his shoulder, but he wants to really make an attack on Jose. So he's trying to scamper off down the road away from these Porsches. He's coming towards the end now. Halen trying to catch up, which means he got back into a top 10, so well done to Halen for that. We're disappointed though, he was a lot further up at the start of the race. Maybe would have wanted a bit more from this round. This and the Audi has definitely tumbled backwards. He was even further up than Halen. I was holding on for 9th, it felt like forever. Down in 12th at the moment. Drive-through. Multiple drive-throughs. So Martins in the 80 McLaren has got a drive-through, and Jenkins for Hexagon Nation. And not that I'm thinking of myself, but that's a great opportunity for me to get another couple of places. I've just got to try and get past Ramshield, really. Looks like more leaders came through though, and that's why I've dropped back 1.2 seconds behind Ramshield. Looks at me dear as the leaders came through the field and I had to make way for them. Jenkins and Martins will be cursing there. It's been quite easy to pick up cut warnings at this track. I mean, you seem to get them at odd times as well, and you weren't too sure how you managed to get a cut warning, but they've accumulated 4, so that's a drive-through penalty for them both. I think I was pushing hard at this point, hoping that this leader who's ahead of us, the Porsche. That's the Porsche time. Hosman in 3rd place. There's the 2 drivers doing the drive-through penalty. Finally, Hosman goes through on Ramshield. Ramshield really got a bit too close there to Hosman as he went through, and I think that cost him going into turn 1. It really opened the door for me. I'll make a big push. It's a bit of an opportunity against the Porsche because it lost a bit of speed in turn 1. And then I overcook it a little bit. It's going into turn 4, went a bit wide. I'm still in there. Lord Nem there acting as my wingman in the background, trying to hold off Phil. We haven't got long to go in this race. It's P26 now with those drive-throughs. I did get a drive-through in one of the practice races. I don't get any cut warnings in this one. Go. Practice races do help. I also learnt from making a bit of a mistake going into turn 4 where I tried to do what somebody else did to me in the race. I went on the inside of Duque. Didn't end well, but I learnt from that to not do it. Really tricky. I've got a decent run here, have we? We've gone through turn 12 and round 13 up towards 14. And I get looking inside, it looks like I've got there. The inside of turn 14 onto the start-finish straight, and I think I've got the Porsche. For all those who say I never do a pass like on track for real, there you go. On screen. Only it was Nins. Through turn 1 side by side, but I've got the inside line, so I'm able to force the Porsche a little bit wide. Trying to come back for the cutback, but I think it's too late now. Just carry good speed through turn 1. Through 3 and 4. I think I built up quite a big gap quite quickly. Out front for the leader, coming towards the end, having revelled in my own glory there. Going through. I'm just going through turn 11 now, towards turn 12. Right in front of him, probably the worst point of the track. Really costing him dear there. We get to the inside of the Bentley. Towards the start finish line. Still going? I think we're still going. 39 laps, what a race. Very, very long race. He's having a bit of a battle there, is he? The Viking Rat did go through on Duque. Duque's trying to come back. I don't think he's going to be able to make it work. Bentley's got too big a backside these days. Too wallowy. Maduke for Bentley Racing. Back one place to 21st. Viking Rat gets into the 20th. Now he's pushing against the BMW ahead of him. Dennistown 28. Not a great deal of time to make up any more positions. As he goes close to Reuter, he isn't that close. Didn't seem to go well at all on this track, the BMW. Gets it wide. Viking Rap's out to go up the inside. So he's got that corner as well. Good place made up by Viking Rap. Fuzzy Llamas. And that's the checkered flag. So, victory for Assetto on the first round out. McKinley will take second place. Celtic Romance. Hosman brings it home in third place for himself because he's not in a team. And that rounds out round 1 of season 13. Next round up will be Donington in a week's time. There's going to be a wet race on that one, so that one's going to be tricky. Keep an eye open for that one. Thanks for watching, and let's have a look at the official race results and the Drivers' Championship coming up next. So here we go with the official race results from round 1 at Valencia. Artem Reshetko in number 925 Ferrari came in first place. McKinley for Celtic Bromance in number 7, also a Ferrari, he came in second. In third place, the first Porsche coming in was Thurkan Hosman for Assetto Motorhersteller, number 228. Anthony Holsoy in another Ferrari was in 4th. Philip Reuter for the Manuel Rutter Racing Academy, number 22, is also in a Porsche. He came in 5th. His teammate, Calmwald, we saw quitting the race in a very strong position, was in second with the possibility of maybe getting first. They got a drive-through right at the end, but then pulled off the track and quit. So that cost the Manuel Rutter Racing Academy team a lot of points there. Marcej Karasariak in the number 313 Porsche came in 6th. Stephen Carey, another Celtic Bromance driver, car number 1, another Ferrari. Celtic Bromance then really cleaning up on points on the first round. Foster in car number 44, another Ferrari, was in 8th. Philip Schmijak in number 30, another Ferrari, was 9th. And Jesse Halen, number 433, was the only non-Porsche Ferrari in the top 10. He came in his Aston Martin. Going further down, the next team driver for Gently Bentley Racing was Paul Martin in 15th place, number 76. Despite being called Gently Bentley, Paul has defected to the Ferrari along with a lot of other people. A little further down in 19th place was Viking Rap, car number 27 for Fuzzy Llamas. He was also in a Ferrari. A bit further down the field, Maduke, being very brave, he's taken the Bentley Continental. He is of Gently Bentley Racing. He's stayed true to the course, unlike Paul Martin in his car number 381. Then I'm in 25th place for Beeswax Racing on a Ferrari, number 833. A really strong comeback there. I ended up almost last in the field due to a number of incidents at the start of the race. Lord Nem, the other Beeswax Racing driver, was 28th in car number 66. His BMW really not seeming to suit this track. All the BMWs down in the bottom half of the field. In P30, Chris Jenkins for Hexagon Nation and car 666, BMW M4. He had a very difficult race, and he's the last of the point scorers, so any team drivers now not really helping their teams much. Tobias Harrickson, the other Hexagon Nation driver, he's in 32nd. Stuart Pizetska was in 35th place, number 81, Fuzzy Llamas in a McLaren 720. And non-finishers, obviously we saw Jonathan Cornwall there pulling out in the number 65 Lamborghini for Manuel Rutter Racing Academy right at the end of the race. He could have still got points, but he elected not to finish. Verke Arras for the other Assetto Motorhersteller driver in a Ferrari was a non-finisher. Radomir Kajerski was a non-finisher. Mike Tucker and Chris Bradbury. So the Drivers' Championship coming away from round 1 does follow the actual race result. Artem Rashenko heads the table with maximum points, followed by McKinley for Celtic Bromance and Thurkan Hosman for Assetto Motorhersteller. So moving on to the Teams Championship, in first place it's Celtic Romance. McKinley and Steve Carey both inside the top 10. I mean, they get away from round 1 with 141 points, pulling out a 62-point lead instantly on Amino Assetto Motorhersteller, well, consisting of Hosman and Arras. Hosman got a good result, but Arras was unfortunately outside of the points. In third place it's Mamoruta Racing Academy. Philip Reuter did finish in the points, but we saw Jonas Cornwald pull out of the race when he got back drive-through right towards the end. Fourth place Gently Bentley Racing. Both Paul Martin and Manuel Duque did get points, but they weren't very high up the field. Fuzzy Llamas, Viking Rap did get some points, but Stuart Pietzke was just outside the points. In sixth place it's Beeswax Racing, myself and Lord Nem, quite a long way down the field, so we only managed to pull in 9 points on this round. 6 from me and 3 from Lord Nem. Hexagon Nation, Chris Jenkins and Tobias Hackenson really struggled in this race. We saw Chris Jenkins coming in the last point scoring place, pulling in 1 point for that team. That's it for round 1 at Valencia. Next up will be Donington, which will be taking place on the rain. That race will be live on YouTube on Tuesday the 20th of June, or you can watch the commentated race review a few days later. If you want to catch either one of those, subscribe to the channel. If you've enjoyed the commentary, please do leave a like or a comment, and I'll catch you at the next one. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.